VanCam. This is VanCam you waited for.
Oh, let me think. Why's Steve not been invited to the wedding? Because you're a dickhead! That's why, you're a liability! Check yourself! This is Kev Ashford and this is the not world famous. Oh yeah, it's VanCam and there it goes. The reason there was no introductory song is because there's absolute sod all to sing about. Let me tell you quickly what's coming up in this week's show. We will discuss the Tottenham 3-0 defeat. Anyway, and then we'll move into Fellaini watch. 130 grand a week. Why not? We will then have a heated debate. This week it's on safe standing. We call it, I call it, the Big VanCam Debate. There is no sitting on that fence. Why would you want to sit up there? We'll do CockStroker of the week. You know, fight and win. I tell you something, dickhead. I'd love to fight you and I would win. And we will end with your comments. Hope everybody is alright. You've had nearly a week now to get over that embarrassing 3-0 defeat. Was it embarrassing? Let's delve straight into this and sort it out once and for all. Man United beaten 3-0 by Tottenham. Let's not forget they're a very, very good Tottenham team. I think they really did a job on us. What I will say, I take absolute sort of pride and heart from the first half performance. I know people will say, Kev, listen, 3-0 in the second half. We sort of capitulated or whatever. What a word that was. And I spat it out properly. Capitulated. I think that's a word. Anyway, doesn't matter. We got beat by Tottenham. But in the first half, the intensity, I like the way we moved the ball. We know we can do it. We just need to do it on a weekly basis. But Mourinho stole all the headlines after the match, banging on about the history, his history with other clubs, not the history he's made with Manchester United. I'd rather him come out and say, I'm the most successful manager since Alex Ferguson. We finished second last season, but he does seem to bang on about the past. What I will say is, the next day there was absolutely nothing in the papers to say how well Tottenham had played, what a job they did. It was all on Mourinho, and I think this is all part of the kind of pantomime that Jose Mourinho stages, and he's done it again, and the press have fallen for it. I don't think he was that pissed off that he was going out going, respect, respect, respect. He's done it to get the headlines. Again, it sort of takes the pressure off his players and that. He's done it everywhere he's gone. Now, saying that, I don't like him banging on about the past. Like I say, the history that he created with other clubs. Down with that kind of shit, Jose. Now, he's obviously in some kind of trouble. There's talk of Zidane coming in, and Man United are said to be looking at renewing Martial's contract. We know that Mourinho and Martial are not the greatest of friends like me and Steve aren't. But what will happen? What is going to happen with Mourinho? Personally, I really do think he's going to ride this one out. I don't think we're out the title race. Some people might laugh at that. In fact, 50-1 suggests that we are, but listen, it only takes a couple of wins. You know, you string together a few good performances, and it needs to start this weekend against Burnley. This is your free therapy session. Loads of people say, Kev, I come to VanCam just to cheer myself up. Probably because they're just laughing and saying, well, look at this dickhead and what is he on about? But even if that helps you out, then, you know, fair play. My services have been of help to somebody. Tottenham, it was disappointing. Tottenham will be in the mix. Will United be? Hopefully, to Christ, we're not struggling to make even top 4. But again, I go back to what I said last week. Are we turning into Arsenal? Ed Woodward, you know, all these commercial deals, are they just happy to make top 4? Touching back on what I said earlier is what I'm trying to say, like I said all the time. Touching back on what I said earlier, United are looking to renew Martial's deal. Mourinho clearly does not want Martial to sign this deal. It's being done as a business deal. That's the only way you can look at it. The club is safeguarding themselves so Martial doesn't leave for free. If he does go, they get something for him. But you could look into it further and think, realistically, who's going to be United longer, Mourinho or Martial? It's going to be Martial, innit? And the way that Mourinho operates, it's usually the third season when he goes. So this will probably be his last. I think we all knew that Mourinho wasn't here for the long haul to make history, you know, 10, 20 years or whatever. It's not going to happen. It will not happen. And I guarantee this will be his last year, whether he walks or gets... Whoosh, that's not even a gun noise. We're going to say the bullet. That was more of a whip or something, wasn't it? Ooh, kinky. Anyway, let's move straight in to a thing that we call Fellaini Watch.
Tomine has it for United. Looking for Fellaini.
Chicken fajitas! This is Fellaini Watch. It's the only YouTube channel that does a section dedicated to the man with bushy hair who's really shit at football. This week a picture was sent in. This was Fellaini on holiday. Yeah, he's coming out the sea. He's got seaweed in his hair. Does he know? Who gives a shit? Because he's a gormless, useless piece of bastard shit. And that seems a bit harsh. I know people are saying, Kev, calm down. But look, I mean, would you want to go for a drink with this character? Yeah, certainly I would not. Also, there was the game against Tottenham, which I really didn't want to touch on again, but I've got to bring it up. I don't mind sending Fellaini out to warm up. In fact, I would sack off Fred the Red, and I don't mean the Brazilian Fred, I mean the guy who dresses as Teddy Bear. He goes round, the kids all laugh at him. They do that anyway when Fellaini goes to warm up. So if you're paying this useless tit 130 grand a week, why not get him, you know, to at least start earning a little bit of it? Pay it back just for the kids. Like, even when I'm there with my dad, you know what I mean? The minute they send Fellaini, you can't miss him, that big bushy hair. I'm in the crowd. Dad, Fellaini's out, you know. It's like a circus act, man. In fact, a mate of mine, Irish Alan, he's a traveller. He's got one of them mad, crazy circus things. Fellaini would be well welcome. There's a kid there. I think he's 5 years old. Spider Kid, they call him. He can spin webs from his hands. I don't know how he does it. There's another woman. She can drink a pint of her own piss. It really is a crazy circus, as Irish Alan says. But anyway, that is Fellaini Watch for another week. Put that man in a circus. Excuse me, love. Do you know the way to Oldham?
No, I don't.
You don't? Like this? Oh, the old ones are the best, aren't they? That was Fellaini Watch. Get commenting, subscribe, do all that stuff. Do you know the way to Oldham? Hey? Anyway, next up is the Big VanCam Debate. It's on safe standing this week, so enjoy and make sure you get involved.
The Big VanCam Debate.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Ow! This is the Big VanCam Debate. Now, last week it was on Jose Mourinho, and I asked a simple question. Do you, in massive capital letters, you think that Jose Mourinho will be gone from Man United by Christmas time? It wasn't, you know, is that your opinion? Do you think he should be? It's just, do you think he will still be at United, or will he be gone? 51%, which makes this the closest ever poll in the history of VanCam. Don't know why I did that, but anyway, let's crack on. 51% said no, they don't think he'll be gone. And I do wonder if the Spurs result might have reflected in this poll. I don't give a shit. Basically, 51%, that just shows how close it is. It's 50-50 really, whether, well, what the VanCam community think, whether Jose Mourinho will still be in charge come Christmas time. Anyway, let's put that one to one side. Oh yeah! Anyway, let's crack on to this week's poll. It is on safe standing. I'm glad to get away because the last few polls have been Mourinho in, Mourinho out, all that shit. Just forget about it, yeah? This week it's on safe standing. Now, listening to the debate this week, it does seem that the government are going to pass a law which will allow UK clubs, stadia, whatever, to implement safe standing. This is something I've been banging the drum for years. Years ago, I did a radio station, used to do that on the Revolution, Talking Balls, it was called. That's me, innit? I talk balls. And we used to regularly debate that we had somebody from the Safe Standing campaign that actually rang in. We had great debates, and I can totally understand the reasons for and against why, you know, you would be in favour of it or against it. Now, obviously what happened at Hillsborough, nobody wants to see that again. Absolute tragedy, you know, 96 people lost their lives going to a football match. We don't want to return to them dark days, but I think, if anything, the findings of the Hillsborough case and what's come out of it, I think one thing proved, how can I word this now? Basically, that standing wasn't the issue. I mean, obviously the police, the way it was controlled. Football stadia in England and all over the country now is far more advanced and much better. My argument, I am totally for safe standing. I think that the word safe, the fact that it says safe standing, it's not unsafe standing, but give the people that want to stand the opportunity and their right to stand if they want to. Now, if you want to be in the prawn sandwich brigade and, you know, sit down and all, and people are standing up and getting excited, fair enough. Let them crack on and eat the prawn sandwiches. Again, if you've got people in other sections that want to sit, it's fine. But at least give somebody their, you know, divine right to make their own decision if they want to stand. And if anything, if anybody that's watching this as a United fan, as whatever, a fan of some shit club like Liverpool or City, you will know that when you go to an away match, basically you stand for 90 minutes anyway. You're not going to sit down because you won't see anything. Everybody stands, and that creates its own problem, because then you've got a plastic seat about knee height in front of you. And how many stories have we heard about when goals go in, there's that surge, people are falling over seats and that. And that's where safe standing comes into. You've got the rail seating, it's worked in Germany, it's worked for, is it Borussia Dortmund, Bayern Munich, even Celtic have trialled this. So it will come in, and I for one am very glad that it will come in, because it can not only add to the atmosphere. I always say it, man, I bang on. I was on about it with my mates in the pub the other week, and I say, do you know what, when a concert, let's say, I don't know, for argument's sake, let's say the Stone Roses, yeah, you're after tickets to go and see them. The last thing you're going to do is ring up. If you're first in the line and they go, well, you know, what tickets would you like? You're not going to go, I'll have a seat, please. You know, what? A concert, you want to be down in the mosh pit, you want to be bobbing about. That's where the atmosphere, I just think standing creates a different atmosphere altogether. The buzz of being in and around your mates and all that. And like I say, you want to be standing at a concert. Who wants to be seated? Down with that kind of shit. Now, I think I'd put forward a very good argument there. So this week's question is, are you for or against safe standing? It will be interesting to hear people's views. Obviously, I would like to get to know what the VanCam community think. Make sure you get involved in the poll. There's a little eye up here, click on that. It's one or the other, for or against. Please back it up with an argument in the comments section if you are against. Even if you're for it, just fire in why you think it would be a good thing. I grew up on the Stretford end, K-stand. It was great, but don't get me wrong, back then there still was that worry of when a goal went in, the surge. You know, if you started at the back of the Stretford end, by the end of the match you were down near the front. I get that, and that's where safety issues come in, but safe standing, that's what it's all about. There is no sitting on that fence. Why would you want to sit up there? Do you know what I mean? If all the boys are going to the pub and you're sat up on the fence, you know, lads, you know, where are you going? You know, they're off to the pub, they're going to have a night out, and you're stuck up on the fence. What are you doing up there? Nobody's going to hear or see you, because you can't make a decision. For safe standing or against. That's all I'm asking. It's simple as shit. Shit's not even simple, is it? I don't know what I'm saying. Make sure you cast your vote. And that is the Big VanCam Debate.
The Big VanCam Debate.
You better get a foot up the wall. That was the Big VanCam Debate for another week. Make sure you get involved. For Christ's sake. as I always say. But I think it is an interesting debate, the old safe standing, and it's well worth having in light of the fact that the government do look to be going and giving it the go-ahead. So hopefully the powers that be at Old Trafford, hopefully they don't look at it and think, no, we're not having this, you know, and will there be cheaper tickets and all that. Bollocks to you, just get it sorted, man. Give the people the opportunity and the right to stand if they want to. Next up, we're going to move into a thing that I call CockStroker of the Week. There's plenty of them out there, but this week there was a clear favourite, so let's find out who's took home that award for this week. Oh yeah!
CockStroker of the Week.
I wouldn't invite you to my wedding, Steve. This is CockStroker of the Week. This week there is one, well, top one. There's a number one. Calm down, Carlos tells me. Every Tuesday night I spend £30 for him to tell me just to channel my anger somewhere else. It's gone. CockStroker of the Week this week, there is just one winner as always. There was loads of nominations, believe it or not, for Jose Mourinho because of his meltdown. People saying it was a Kevin Keegan style meltdown. Do me a favour. The reason I'm not putting him as number one is because I think he's had everybody over. He's doing that thing again where he's creating this thing. He puts everything on himself to take it kind of away from the second half performance, which, I mean, it's not great. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, number one this week, and thank you very much to VanCam regular Dave Birtwhistle, who sent in this corker of one of the, is it Seattle Ultras, doing his thing in the stadium.
Sorry, dude. Get over it. Come on, Seattle! Come on, Seattle! No, you gotta your eyes open. Fight and win! Fight and win! Come on, Seattle! Come on, Seattle!
Come on, Seattle! I mean, what an absolute dick. Imagine being in the crowd. Can't believe people are even giving him the time of day, like singing along and feeding his ego. Apart from the fact he looks whopped to the chops. He won't be whopped to the chops. He'll just be one of them Americans, like. And the fact they call him a Seattle Ultra in the actual thread to that video coming out on Twitter. An Ultra. I tell you what, if that dick was, even if he was a United fan in front of me at a match, with his scar, grab him by that scar, say sit down you dickhead. And who brings a microphone to a footy match? You know, just turn round, watch the match. I don't mind you singing and that, but all that, you know, fight and win. I tell you something, dickhead, I'd love to fight you and I would win. And for that reason, Seattle Ultra, you are this week's CockStroker of the Week. CockStroker of the Week. Fuck's he looking at? That was CockStroker of the Week for another week. Thank God that is over. And thank you very much to Dave Birtwhistle for sending that one through. Remember, you can send anything through, well, within reason anyway. None of that, you know, negative shit. You know, Kev, you've got massive ears, you look like Teabag, you know, you're Gary Neville's love child. I'm not. So don't be like that. It's not big, it's not clever. Nobody likes a bully, certainly not me. Next up is the grand finale. It's your comments. It's time to see if you've had your comment read out. There's only one way it's gonna get read out, and that's if you leave a comment. So make sure you do that as well. Don't know why I'm laughing, because it's not even that funny. Just do that shit. Here we go, another week of your comments. Okay, now just before I actually do your comments, I'm doing a new part of the show which is called Tactical Analysis. This is where you get my expert opinion and I have a look basically ahead to the next game. This week it just happens to be Burnley. I'll look into that in a minute, but here we go with Tactical Analysis. Okay, now unless you are an expert in football like myself, Obviously played for St Mary's back in the 90s. 93 we made it through to the Catholic Cup semi-final. So obviously you know what to expect. You're getting it from somebody who actually knows their shit. So for anybody that doesn't really get football formations or strategies, just bear with me and I'll try and give you a lesson. So Sunday we are playing Burnley. I see Burnley as quite a threat. I mean, they're quite a physical team, and I can only imagine that the fans are definitely going to make it a hostile atmosphere. Now this is where my strategy comes in, and bear with me like I say. We've got 11 players on that pitch. They're all wearing the same colour shirt. Now what I would suggest, and my strategy for the match, would be that when we're in possession of the ball, let's pass it to each other. Yeah, let's have people wanting the ball. Let's even try getting it out wide, getting in and around the back. What I would say is, if you feel fearful and in danger of giving away possession, give it to somebody else, you know, in the same colour shirt. Moving up the field then, we're looking ahead and we're thinking we need goals. So basically, if you are in the position that you can actually score, have a shot, you might score. But again, don't give away possession. If you think you can score, try and put the ball in the net. This is what wins games. At the end of the day, as long as we've got possession, we're trying to score goals, moving off the ball. If they've got the ball, they could, you know, damage us. They could score a goal. So don't let them have it. And when we've got it, try and score a goal. I'm really hoping that Jose's watching this, because if he watches it, he's got to take my philosophy. Hopefully Pep and Klopp aren't watching, because they'll take it, strengthen their team, and the Ashford strategy and philosophy will be used at other clubs to become successful. That was tactical analysis. That was tactical analysis. Make sure you thank me in the comment section, and if you didn't understand any of that, drop me, you know, a tweet or something, and I can try and break it down more. But like I say, what more can you expect from the expert in football? So hope you enjoyed that. Hope you know what I do for you, basically you appreciate it. So into the comments, a private message on Twitter from Full-Time Devils. It read, "How's it going, Kev? I need a VanCam to get me over Monday." Well, whoever it is from Full-Time Devils, I hope that you've enjoyed this week's tactical masterclass, CockStroker of the week, Fellaini watch. I am really spoiling yous, but yeah, that really threw me, that, because when it come up and said Full-Time Devils message, I was like, yes, if it's going to be them, it's going to be some other one using that net. It was. So hope you are all alright. Yes, and the Unknown Genius said, "We got a team full of social media whores who think they're celebs and forget they're footballers." Did say this the other week about Pogba. Said we need a Roy Keane type character. Imagine we had Roy Keane and he was sat next to Pogba in the changing room, and you've got Pogba going, you know, "Roy, I have my own emoji," and him going, "What the fuck are you on about? A fucking emoji?" Yeah, he dogged the fuck out of him, and it's rightly so. Stop dicking about with the hair, you dickhead. Anyway, Dimas Marigurgagot said, "How have you only got 2,000 subscribers, mate? Always mint videos. Keep up the good work, lad, and subscribe, everyone." Thank you very much for spreading the word. Last week was, in a space of about 3 days, it had over 1,000 views, which I know to some of the big hitters who might be watching will be like, 1,000, get that in like a second or whatever. But to me, it's a big deal, because everybody is, it seems that they're sharing it, they're doing their part. Make sure you share it on the Facebook page and all that. Anyway, sorry for going on. Denzig 2000 said, "Jose will walk by Xmas." I did put that in earlier on in the debate thing. It's a possibility, mate. It's a possibility. John Vallandingham, who is the VanCam legend himself, he wore a VanCam t-shirt, paraded round the United States of America, promoting VanCam. So to me, he's God, and he's got a fine head of hair. He said, haven't been this depressed since Nam. Usually tune into VanCam for cheering up, but your serious words struck home, mate. Thanks again. This was last week, did VanCam rant. Had a few things to get off this beautiful chest of mine. I felt I did it, felt it was therapy, felt I helped a few other people, and that's good. Andrew Glass said, what you just said is 100%. I try and tell people that, but just can't get it out of my mouth. Absolutely spot on, Kev. Spot on. It was from last week, again, the VanCam rant. A lot of people did say, Kev, totally agree with you. Sort of saying things that people are trying to get out but couldn't, and I just let rip. If you've not seen it, get on it. Mark Collins said, totally agree with VCR, which was VanCam rant. Thank you for putting on a great show again and making us MUFC fans smile during this dark time. He's supporting from Singapore. Woohoo! Singapore in the house. And the last one's from Jim McGill. Now, he messaged me last week. He was on his holiday. He said, I think it was Rhodes or somewhere he was. He said, there's a bird out here who looks like you. Now, joking, I sent one back. I said, she must be a fine bit of gear and well worth one. Hopefully my wife doesn't say that. But what I mean is, I'm good looking. So if there's a female version of me out there, must look really, really stunning like. Imagine my surprise when I got another message through that said, that bird I was talking about, mate. Cheeky twastard! You cheeky twastard, man! Cheeky twastard! It's a donkey! What are the similarities, man? Big ears. Yeah, alright. Hairy face. Yeah. Have a long beak on it, or nose, whatever you call it. There's little similarities, but you cheeky bastard! You cheeky twastard. That's a mix between a twat and a bastard, and that's exactly what you are, McGill. I hope you had a shit holiday, mate, and I hope that donkey attacked you. Or if not, in another life, or in your dreams or something, it just haunts you for the rest of your life. Cheeky bastard. Right, it's Burnley this weekend. What do you need to know about Burnley? Burnley is a strange town. People have 6 fingers on one hand, and they usually use that to drop it on their sister, which is against the law, but apparently in Burnley, it's alright, just crack on and do what you want with your sister. Down with that kind of shit. Kev's not feeling that at all. Certainly not. And I've only got 5 fingers to feel with, not 6. There's something strange about that as well. For United at the weekend, it really is time that we really kick off our season. We need to sort our shit out. That's what we need to do. We want 11 players on that pitch who pull it on, playing for pride, playing for passion, and for Christ's sake, we're playing for the fans. Every single one that'll be there and singing them on. More of that shit like it was against Tottenham. Not the result, I mean the fans. Do you know what? Don't even need to say that. The fans will sing whatever the weather. And for United, on Sunday, in that strange town, woo! Come on, United! Yeah!